What up, everybody? It's your boy Truth Soldier at it again, coming at you with another video by the grace of God. This video right here is going to be called Earth is Round the Way God Says It Is. I'll repeat that. Earth is round the way God says it is. Okay? Now, the reason I say that, a lot of globe believers still walking around here believing that Earth is round the way that man says. Okay? Even after scientific proof comes out and goes against what they've all been thinking they knew this whole entire time. Okay? Now, when you want to find out something, man, these days it's all about asking a question. No one's going to tell you the truth. No one's going to spill the beans on accident for you. You're going to have to go find out and ask questions. And not just ask questions, but you have to ask the right questions. And the reason I say that is, so when you ask Google, and you can do this yourself, and I'll pull this up after I say these two questions so you can see. When you say Google, what is the shape of the Earth? You'll get this answer here. Check it out. The Earth is roughly a sphere, right? But then when you just add one word to that same question, okay, Google, what is the true shape of the Earth? And you get this answer. An oblate spheroid, right? Now, I mean, it's just kind of funny to me. I feel like it's the same question, but you add one word and the answer can change, right? From the Earth being roughly a sphere to an oblate spheroid. Now, this video is going to show me asking some people some questions. I was trying to do a survey. I didn't ask as many people as I wanted to, but I did ask some people, what is the shape of the Earth? And I want you guys to check this out, okay? Now, before I show you guys these clips, the reason I'm getting into this is I feel like, the word round, people are using the word round and without thinking about it, right? I feel like nobody's really thinking about it anymore ever since we were taught when we were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old about the shape of the Earth, and you believe that and you move on, you never go back on it, most people. So we've all been taught that the Earth is a sphere, a globe, right? So, I'm 38 years old, and I'll look up the definition these days of words that I thought that I knew this whole time, right? Like the word round. Definition of round is shaped like or approximately like a circle or cylinder. Okay? I'll repeat that. Definition of round, shaped like or approximately like a circle or cylinder. That's the first definition you get under the word round. The second one is shaped like or approximately a sphere. Oh, the first one was like a small round table. And then the second one is like a round glass ball, right? Now, when it comes to the word sphere, the definition of sphere, right, is a round solid figure or its surface with every point on its surface equidistant from its center. So, I mean, that's like a round solid figure or its surface with every point on its surface equidistant from its center. That sounds like a billiard ball. That sounds like a hard, solid figure or its surface with every point equidistant from its center. So it's a smooth, equal, around surface. That's a sphere. I don't hear where our Earth is anything like that. Our Earth is 71% water, right? Where is the solid figure of Earth at? Especially the part where it says, with every point on its surface equidistant from its center. Even globe believers, the main reason why they don't believe in a flat Earth is because they say, oh, well, if it's flat, and what about the mountains? And what about the hills and the valleys, right? So we all even agree that there are mountains, highs and lows. But that is one of the reasons why they won't agree with a flat Earth, right? But on a billiard ball, on a sphere, something that is a solid figure, and with every point on its surface equidistant from its center, that would count the Earth out. Because this Earth is not a solid. It's 71% water. And there's nowhere on this surface that has every point on its surface equidistant from its center. Nowhere. Right? So that's the definition of sphere. Definition of globe is Earth. The number one definition for globe is Earth, right? And you go to number 2, it says a spherical or rounded object. Okay? Definition of globe is Earth, number 1. And number 2 is a spherical or rounded object. We can go ahead and count out the spherical because we know Earth is not a sphere. Okay? And we're going to get to why we know that, because science says so. If you Google today, like I said, what is the true shape of the Earth? You're going to get an oblate spheroid. Now, I'm going to show you these clips where it seems like no one knows that. And when you ask someone what's the shape of the Earth, they're going to say it's round. Okay? Even when the word round is not a shape. You can Google that. Round is not a shape. Round is not a noun. Shapes are nouns. The word round is not a shape, it's not a noun, it's an adjective. Okay? Round is not a shape. It's an adjective. An adjective that describes a shape. Okay? And if you don't know what an adjective is, it's a word or phrase naming an attribute added to or grammatically related to a noun to modify or describe it. So when people say the Earth is round, you can't just end it with it's round. You have to say it is, just like the definition of round was shaped like or approximately like a circle or cylinder. And the example was, she sat at a small round table, right? The second definition to round was shaped like or approximately a sphere. And the example to that was a round glass ball. You don't need to call a sphere round because a sphere is what it is. Shapes are what they are. You know, either a shape is that shape or it ain't. Either a round tire is a round tire that will drive smoothly and get you where you need to go smoothly, or it won't. Shapes are shapes, or they're not. Do we agree on that? Okay. Now, let's get back to the word round. The way people use the word round, like I just demonstrated to you, they're not finishing it off. If I asked you what is the shape of the Earth, you can't just say it's round. The Earth has a shape. And today Google is telling us that exact shape is an oblate spheroid, which is not a sphere, which is not a ball, like most people like to say, which is not a globe. Okay? Those things, the globe, the sphere, they are perfect round around. A sphere is a round, solid figure. Okay? Now, back to the word round. There's several ways you can use the word round, right? One of them is the opposite of round is an exact number. You could either round up to an exact number or an even number, but when you say roundabout, you're not being exact. So when you say the earth is round, you're not being exact. You following me? Okay? Now, our society, though, has done a very good job on brainwashing us and making us think about things the wrong way. For instance, like this coronavirus. A lot of people don't know that viruses are not even transmittable. A lot of people don't know that we have over 1,100 viruses in our body right now. There are good viruses and bad viruses, but they are able to scare us because the ignorant, the people that don't know about how these viruses work, they will believe whatever they're told on what this virus will do, right? Same principle on the globe theory and so many other things out there. But I wanted to just show this one to show how our society, our government can dumb us down and trick us on just wordplay and believing in things that are not true, even if they go against our religion and the word of God. Okay, now in 1687, Isaac Newton published the Principia, where he showed proof of what a rotating planet would do under gravitational pull, right? And he called it an oblate ellipsoid or an oblate spheroid. Now, I'm pretty sure most people, when you just like you're going to see in these clips that I'm going to show you here in a second, most people that I ask what shape is the earth, they're going to say round. No one said an oblate spheroid like our top physicist or scientist says today, which I'll show you here right now. How he says it is an official oblate spheroid, and the earth is not a sphere, right? That's Neil deGrasse Tyson, the smartest black guy out there all of a sudden, right? When they want you to believe some crap. But in 1687, Isaac Newton published the Principia saying that the earth was an oblate spheroid. 1687. So for hundreds of years, the guy that we got, or one of the guys that we got this theory from, which is still a theory, which people believe as fact, but hundreds of years ago, this guy had already said that the earth was an oblate spheroid. But I, for the life of me, only remember seeing these perfect round globes in our classrooms. For the life of me, I only remember seeing, before every movie, every Universal movie, the perfect round earth coming into the screen with the Universal in front of it, right? For the life of me, I can only remember seeing nothing but fake perfect round earth images from NASA and the ISS. If for hundreds of years it has already been said and proven that the earth was an oblate spheroid, why hasn't our society, why hasn't our schools, our textbooks, and everyone walking around here, why is no one saying or calling it an oblate spheroid? Why is everyone walking around calling it a globe, a sphere, or a ball, earth? I'll tell you why. Because of the indoctrination is so strong. You can go turn on your TV right now, within 5 minutes, whether it's a movie, a TV show, whatever, commercials, in 5 minutes, you can count at least 5 to 10 globe Earth's images that you will see come up on that screen. The indoctrination is heavy, so heavy to where people's imagination is even greater than what they probably even wanted us to have. Okay? Now, the earth is round, but not the way that man says it is. Not in a spherical manner. Okay? And the reason I say not the way man says it is because I don't believe what man says. If I did, you see me wearing a mask on right now, I'd be inside my house scared of some airborne virus about to pick me off. But I'm not scared, and neither is my family. We think it's a hoax. We think it's a lie. If anything, it's going to cripple our economy and make our society dependent on the government. Now, the reason why I say I don't believe in man, because I believe in God's word over man. And it has done tremendous things for me for doing so. The Bible speaks of a circle of the earth. Isaiah 40:22. It is he that sitteth upon the earth, upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them like a tent to dwell in. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. Circle, okay? And for you globe believers out there that want to try to change this verse into a sphere, where it never says a sphere. That's one thing that a lot of people have a problem with, is not keeping the Bible the same. You don't add or you don't take away. It says circle. It says nothing of a sphere. God is not retarded. He knows what a circle compared to a sphere is. He knows what a circle compared to a ball is. He uses a ball in the Bible, in a verse, using it just like a ball. Okay? Now, if you want to try to change this to a globe or a sphere, just remember this. To put a circle on top of a sphere, you can't put a circle. There is no top of a sphere. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and his inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers. Okay? He's sitting on top of something looking down at us. There is no top of a sphere. We'll go into that more. Proverbs 8:27. When he prepared the heavens, I was there when he drew a circle on the face of the deep. There's that word circle again. Circle and face. There is no face of a sphere. There is no face of a ball. You can only have a face on something that is a plane, something that is on a flat surface. Okay? Job 26:10. He has inscribed a circle on the face of the waters, at the boundary between light and darkness. Okay? Psalm 19:6. Its rising is from one end of the heavens. We're talking about the sun here, but the sun is going over the circle of the earth. Check this out. Its rising is from one end of the heaven, and its circuit to the other end of them, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. And it said, and its circuit to the other end. The word circuit is basically a course, an ordinance. You start somewhere and you go around and you come back right where you started at, like a circle would. Okay? And to verify that verse, we'll go to 1 Samuel 7:16, talking about Jesus. He used to go annually on circuit to Bethel and Gilgal and Mizpah, and he judged Israel in all these places. Basically saying he used to go all around the city preaching. Every year he went around to these cities, annually on circuit. So when it says the sun, its rising is from one end of the heavens, and its circuit to the other, it went in a circle. There are several other verses in the Bible that speak of or describe a circle of the earth. There's nothing to describe a sphere. Now, if you look at images that people may have constructed on what they think the earth and all of its hosts that God God's glory has put upon us, you may have seen something that looks like a snowball, right? Or maybe even a globe, but with everything inside of the globe, not everything outside. So if anything, if we're gonna go with a globe, we're inside that globe, not sitting on top of it, twirling 1,000 miles per hour. Stupid. Okay. Now, real quick, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and show these clips. I want you guys to check these out so you can see how fast people answer that the earth is round without themselves ever in their lives being able to see that. Okay. A lot of people want to trick themselves to believe that they can see the curvature from an airplane, but one of their gods, Neil deGrasse Tyson, even came out and said last year after the Red Bull jump, he went so high up and he jumped down, and before he left his pod, they showed a curvature of the earth. That was a fisheye lens, a GoPro lens, which was later found out and proven. And even Neil deGrasse Tyson said that you can't even go high enough. We can't go high enough to see the curvature of the earth. Okay? Google that. Find that on YouTube. But yeah, earth is round the way God says it is. But check out these clips, guys, so you can see how fast people are so quick to answer something that they really have no idea about. And most people who call themselves Christians or even Catholics and say they believe in God, by answering it, saying it's round in a spherical shape, it's going against what the Word of God, the Bible, and your God says. Okay? Now, check these clips out real quick. What shape is the earth?
Circle.
Circle? What shape is the earth?
Circle. Oh, like a ball.
Like a ball? Like a sphere? Globe?
Yes.
So now, that's what we all are taught to believe, right? Coming
Yes.
up, science and stuff. But if you Google today, what shape is the earth, it's going to tell you it's an oblate spheroid. Yeah, okay? Totally different. It's not a perfectly round ball anymore. But a lot of people don't know that. We've all still going off of the old thing. So then it made me wonder, like, well, if that changed, when did that change? When did it go from a perfect round ball to an oblate spheroid, right? It shows like 1697 by Isaac Newton. When he first came up with the globe theory, he been said that it was an oblate spheroid hundreds of years ago. So why all these hundreds of years we've been using this perfectly round ball in our classrooms and stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I'm asking a bunch of people just to see where all our heads are at. You know what I mean? Appreciate you. Hey, Mark, you got 2 seconds?
Yes, sir.
I got a few questions for you. Help me out.
What's up, fella?
What shape is the earth?
Round.
Round?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what everybody says. Do you, like, so I Googled recently the shape of the earth on Google, and it says it's an oblate spheroid. So
Okay.
it has changed from what we grew up and were being taught, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, dang, when did that happen? When did it change from perfectly round sphere globe to an oblate spheroid? You're saying it's kind of flatter at the tops, wider on the sides.
Yeah. So it's more of an oval
And it
now or
says
something?
1687 is when Isaac Newton, who we got the globe theory from, is when he first said it was an oblate spheroid. So I'm like, what? If we've been getting all our info from him, why haven't we ever shown the oblate spheroid, like all those perfectly round spheres in classrooms and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, it's just crazy. It kind of tripped me out. But yeah, I'm just doing this for one of my YouTube videos and stuff, trying to do a survey and see what people think, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Appreciate you, brother. Real quick?
Yeah.
Doing a survey for my one of my YouTube videos. What shape is the earth?
Round.
Round?
Yeah.
Oh. What shape is the earth?
Round?
Okay, what shape is the earth?
It's a sphere.
It's a sphere?
Yeah.
Okay. What shape is the earth?
Round.
Round? What else would you call that though?
Circular.
Like a globe, right?
Globe.
We all
Globe.
grew up calling it a globe.
Globe, sorry.
Or a sphere, right? Okay. But do you know, like recently science now says that the earth is oblate spheroid. Have you heard that? Now they say, look it up when you get a chance, they say it's an oblate spheroid, like kind of flat at the top and then like rounder on the sides. and then flatter at the bottom. Yes. Now, I cut some of those videos short. I might show you the end of those on some of those, because I'm kind of explaining to people that what Google and scientific powers that be say these days, that it's not a perfect round sphere, that it's an oblate spheroid, and that shape is closer to an oval, to an egg, right? An ovoid is what an oval would be. Okay, but you see none of these images on TV. You know, this is something that's new. That's what I thought. But since 1687, Isaac Newton had already said that Earth was an oblate spheroid. But we've never been seeing that. We've only been seeing these perfect round globes in the classrooms. You know, so when are we going to start seeing these oval-shaped, these egg-shaped Earths that go with what science actually says our Earth looks like, right? We're not. The indoctrination is too strong, and people are so USA. We're so indoctrinated and just love what we did. We'll keep something that way, even though that's not how it really happened. That's not the truth. But it looked good and sounded good, and we don't want to take away from that, because it's gonna make us look bad. It's gonna make us look like some liars, right? But on one of these videos at the end, I'm going to show you here a guy who starts off saying that the shape of the Earth is round. What shape is the Earth?
Shape is the Earth?
Yes.
The Earth is round, if you want to call it round.
Round, globe. Sphere, right? And then, within 30 seconds, starts to say that it's not exactly round. Says something about how it has the tallest point on Earth, you know, Mount Kurajo or Mount Hiroshima, whatever he said, one of those mountains, is on why it can't be perfectly round. But it started off by saying, when I asked him, is the Earth round, or what shape is Earth? It's round, right? Okay, so that's what we were all taught to believe in school. But if you go to Google right now and ask the shape of the Earth, it's going to tell you it's an oblate spheroid.
Correct, yeah.
It's not exactly round, which is something that's changed from when we were coming up. I was always taught it's a perfect round ball, 8,000 miles around diameter.
No, it's always been because of the tallest point of the Earth is not Mount Everest. It's like Mount Kilimanjaro or something like that.
Yeah.
One in Africa. It's the highest point from us.
So then I also asked, if Earth isn't a perfect sphere or perfectly round, when did that change?
It was actually an impact with another planet billions of years ago that changed it. So the reason why it's not perfectly round is because of an impact with either a planet or another moon billions of years ago that kind of gave it that kind of funky wobble. This is what...
And he says that it changed because of an impact with another planet or moon billions of years ago. And that changed it, and that's why it's not perfectly round, right? And then we'll fast forward a few minutes into his conversation, and he's just talking, I'm letting him talk, and he says that impact, billions of years, is what changed and kind of gave it that funky wobble, right? And then says it was never actually round before that, but in verbatim right here, but gravity, the way that it spins things, will ultimately even make this a perfect sphere over another billions of years. Scales we've been seeing in all our classrooms across the world.
It's not a perfect. It's not even perfectly round. It's like a little thing that kind of comes out to the side. And if you watch the formation of Earth, you can actually see why it is that way, because it was never actually round even before that. But gravity, the way that it spins things, will ultimately even make this a perfect sphere over another billions of years.
So in the beginning, he says that Earth was round, and then says it's not exactly round because of all the stuff that's on it, right? We know that. Only spheres are perfectly round with nothing on them, right? And then Earth isn't... He says that it changed because of an impact with another planet billions of years ago. That's what changed Earth from being a perfect round sphere, right? Billions of years ago. But it's been billions of years ago, and they're saying that we're an oblate spheroid. But he just is saying that, but gravity, the way that it spins things, will ultimately even make this a perfect sphere over another billions of years. None of this is what he is saying is making sense to me. So then I say, what about NASA pictures of a perfect round Earth? And he says, well, it's just your perception of it. My perception?
What about, like, you know, the pictures of Earth from NASA and stuff like that showing a perfectly round Earth?
Well, it's just your perception of it.
How
It's,
it
it's
looks.
kind of like the perception of a, let's say, a cue ball, right? Your perception of the cue ball from back here is that it's perfectly round. But if you take it and you look at it under a microscope or you get real close, you can realize that the cue ball is not perfectly round. It's got lots of flaws in it. It's got lots of issues. It's not.
I mean,
entirely-
that would have to be, super
this-
duper close up. So you're saying,
all of
Unlike the perception of the cue ball, because remember he gives the example of a cue ball from a distance looks like a perfect round sphere, but when you microscopic and you get close up on it, you can see it looks like mountains and all that, right? Well, unlike the perception of the cue ball, I am living in the microscopic, real close up Earth, zoomed in part of Earth, right? And I don't see any roundness. I see no curvature. I don't see the curvature calculator math that they gave us is not working. We see too far even on flat surfaces, on water that goes too far out, on lands that go too far out. We have too many places here on Earth that are considered the flattest places on Earth. There's no place here on Earth that is considered the curviest place on Earth. I find that very funny. I find it very funny that we know everything about space above, but we've only explored less than 5% of our oceans. And did you know that the largest parts of here on Earth are the abyssal plains, which are the most flattest places here on Earth? Okay? I find it funny how we have an ISS, International Space Station, supposedly up there, but we don't have an International Sea Station down there. Trying to figure out some stuff because like I said, we've only explored less than 5% of the ocean. What are we doing? Makes no sense. But yeah, my perception here on Earth, I see no curviness, I see no roundness, I see nothing of a globe or a sphere, any evidences of that. No one here on Earth ever in life has ever done an experiment to prove the spin or movement of the Earth. Okay? There's been actually a few tests that prove otherwise, that the Earth does not move, that the Earth is stationary. Okay? But here on Earth, I can't see any of those evidence, and I don't have the money to go and fly out into space and turn around and look at the Earth and see what the actual shape of it is. Only 12 men have been able to do that. And if it wasn't you, then you cannot say with a clear and honest mind and honest heart that you know for a fact what the Earth looks like. Only 12 men do. Other than that, you're only seeing pictures that we have to trust, that we're not doctored or any CGI, which is mostly what we see, like this image of Earth that we all believe was our Earth, perfect round sphere right here. Okay, that's the image indoctrinating most Americans. That's the image that supposedly astronauts went to the moon, turned around, and took a picture and said, that's the Earth. Funny thing to me, though, is we can't even do that no more. We can't even fly out of low Earth orbit. That's why there's an International Space Station. That's as far as we can go, as far as men. And then he goes on to say gas giants are not perfectly sphered. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He goes to say gas giants are perfect spheres.
But like all of the other non-gas giants are also not perfectly sphered. But if you look at them through a telescope, they look perfectly round.
And he was wrong. Gas giants are not perfectly sphered. And then, he says that we want the globe and the earth to be a perfect round sphere, even though it's not. He said we want it to be perfect because that's what is easy.
Too, because that classroom globe.
We want it to be perfect.
Oh, you know what I mean?
We want it to be perfect because that's what's easy, but it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's never been perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad you know that. A lot of people, because I just asked probably like 5 people before you, and I was like, round sphere. You know what I mean? Like, but then when you tell them that Google says it's an oblate spheroid,
Sure.
and that was even brought out from 1687 by Isaac Newton. So it's like, well, all these hundreds of years we've been showing this round, perfect
Yeah.
globe.
It's just like perfect north. Our magnetic north is not actually where we would picture it to be down the center of the earth.
Yeah.
It's actually at a slight angle, and that's why the earth wobbles. Now that wobble, by the way, that people talk about, that is why we have seasons. If the earth did not wobble, we wouldn't have winter, fall, spring, summer. It would just be the same year round. It's the wobble because it does this.
That's if the sun's 93 million miles away, like we've been led to believe. But if you think like me,
Sure.
and you think it's 40 miles up,
Yeah.
and it's smaller and local, and it goes over it's smaller than the Earth. And
Sure.
It's going over the land,
And
giving light.
That's
you know.
fine, but if you do believe that it is a oblique like that,
Yeah.
and you understand that the Earth wobbles from side to side, that is why we have those seasons.
Mm.
That's the only way that the seasons occur. Because if the Earth was certain center, straight up and just spinning, and it would be just going around the sun, where would seasons ever come from?
But I want to finish this off almost with the last thing he said. He said the magnetic north is not down the center of the earth like we all think. So therefore, the wobble is why we have seasons, is what he says. And he kind of asked a question on if there wasn't that axis, if we didn't get hit by the rock and gave us that wobble, he's saying without the wobble or whatever, right, we wouldn't have seasons. He's saying, how would we have seasons if there wasn't a wobble and we was just straight and we just went around the sun? Doesn't that sound familiar to some of you? Without it being a sphere, he's saying if the sun didn't have a wobble, that means it's not moving or spinning either, right? That means it's just going around the sun. Let's just go with the earth is not moving. It's not a sphere. It's not in space. It's not spinning. It's not moving. And the sun's just going around us. That's how we get our seasons, our signs, and our years. That's what the Bible says. Okay? I know a lot of you who do not believe in the Bible or believe in God, you believe heavily in the heliocentric theory. You believe heavily in space. I know why you don't believe in God. I know why you don't believe in the word of God, because that's all that the pseudoscience was meant to do. When they got on that rocket, supposedly, with men on it, and say that they landed on the moon, that the Bible said was a light in the heavens, used for signs, seasons, and years, by man saying that they landed on it, what did they do? They crossed out God. They crossed out heaven. Okay? That's why you don't believe in God. But hey, guys, the earth is round the way God says it is, not the way man says it is. Okay? Just because you drive around your neighborhood in your car, does that mean you drove up under it and back over the top of the neighborhood? No. You drove around your neighborhood. Okay? I can walk around this phone right now and come back around. Circumnavigated my phone right now. I just went on a circuit and came back around where I started at. Okay, guys? The earth is round the way God says it is, not man. Now, if you're going to say the earth is round, end it with something. It's round like a ball. It's round like a sphere. It's round, but you can't just say earth is round. because even Google, even the scientists today say that it's not round. It's an oblate spheroid. Got it? All right, guys. Hey, let me know if I missed something. I might have a part 2 to this video. Just wanted to talk about this, okay? Because this is something that we need to use our words correctly. We need to believe in the truth. We need to talk about the truth. And we need to get away from the lies, because as we can see what's going on with our world today, by believing in something that you have no idea about, like viruses, can have you losing your job, okay? Can have you possibly having to take mandatory vaccines so that your kids can go back to school because you believed in something that you had no idea about. And now you're mad about all the other stuff past that part. If only you just would have just not believed in it, did your research and asked questions and said, hold on, this don't make no sense, we probably wouldn't be where we're at right now with this pandemic, okay? And we probably wouldn't be where we're at right now with people not believing in God and being atheists because of this round earth and globe and spherical lie, taking away the glory of our creator, God, Yahshua, the Most High God, Christ, Lord. Okay? But hey, guys, who am I? Just somebody trying to find out the truth and spread it around. Help me, like this video, share, subscribe. I love all my true soldiers out there that's been hanging with me from day one. We're going to get past all this pandemic stuff. God is going to see us out. But for right now, all we can do is just try to spread the truth, share the lies, and bring all of our children and our brothers and sisters back to our Father. All right, guys? That's all I'm trying to do. I love you. Peace out. True Soldier out.